What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today, I'm going to hit you up with my quick thoughts and opinions on this latest album from Talib Kweli called Radio Silence. Now, Talib Kweli is an MC from Brooklyn, New York, who has given us tons of gems over the years. When it comes to his solo work, I especially love that album Quality, but then he's given us group work as well, so I got to speak on some of those projects. With Mos Def, together they formed Black Star. That album was absolutely a classic. I think pretty much everyone agrees on that. And then when he came together with High Tech as Reflection Eternal, they dropped Train for Thought. Or maybe it was Train of Thought. I forget. I'm kind of off track, but I'm going to post it up here anyway, so you'll know what I mean. But that shit was fire. I remember listening to all these projects quite a bit. And even in the past couple of years, he's done well. He came out with that Indie 500 project, a really dope collaboration with Ninth Wonder, so you know you got some fire-ass beats and bars on that one. And then just recently with Styles P, he dropped that EP called The Seven. Not too recently, I think it came out earlier this year because I did review that with Spectrum Pulse. So shout out to Mark, you can go over on his channel if you guys want to see it. But now we come to this project right here, and he is not missing a beat. Right away on that intro called The Magic Hour, we get this great Alchemist production because he always comes through, and Talib is just showing that his vocals and flow are still on point. He absolutely snaps on this track for one long verse, and things don't slow up on the next track called Traveling Light. This one is produced by Kaytranada, who instead of coming through with that usual electro bounce, came through with some sample work. There are a lot of really dope horns tied into this thing. And Anderson .Paak is featured as well with his quintessential sound. He just brings something so unique to every track he's featured on, and I love that these two came together again because they had a fire track on Malibu called The Dreamer. But as for this track right here, Talib is hitting you with some bars and getting you thinking like he always does. He speaks a little bit on how the prisons are profiting and basically just fucking everything up. And he also brings up how in the last election, Americans really didn't have that great of a choice. Going with Trump or Clinton wasn't the best for a lot of people, so he is bringing some nice content and social commentary on this thing, as you would expect. Now, I have talked about some of the beats on these first songs, so I got to bring up the couple of tracks I didn't care for, mostly because of the production. First of all, the song Chips shows up right in the middle of the project and kind of kills the vibe, because what it is this horn-heavy banger featuring Waka Flocka. I can appreciate the unique pairing because you wouldn't really expect these two to come together, but this track really just felt out of place because most of this project has more of a smooth and jazzy sound. It certainly works for a turn-up track, so I give it points for that, but really this is one of my least favorites by far. And as for my other least favorite, it would have to be the title track Radio Silence. I think this production might grow on me given some more time, but as of now it just feels a little bit messy. It's this spacey synth work that switches up a couple times throughout, and I also wasn't a big fan of that Micah 9 verse on the end. He just had a very different sort of flow. Some people might fuck with it, but I felt like it was running on a bit, and at times it was kind of like spoken word. These were my two least favorite tracks, but in spite of that, this is still a great album because I didn't all out hate these tracks, and some of these other tracks are much better. In particular, I really like that track She's My Hero. This is a track where Talib Kweli is telling the story of Brescia Meadows, a 14-year-old who killed her father because he was just terrorizing and abusing the whole family. So I appreciate that he was speaking on this issue and also sympathizing with her because she essentially lost her innocence. This is a story that has gone around for quite a while now. You may have heard about it, but if not, he does a great job of telling that story and just letting you know how this all happened. I think it's a very powerful track, but moving on to some of the other tracks here, I gotta shout out Nocturnal. I absolutely love the sexy sax, vocal samples, and groovy bass line on this thing. And this is a track where Talib is once again telling some stories. He's just breaking down all the shit that goes on out in the city at night, man. You got people out here doing robberies, youngins who are lost, just looking for guidance, and even some hoeing and prostitution. So this has some more social commentary on it, just about the city falling apart under the veil of darkness. And to me, this sounds like a track that Rick Ross would be featured on, but he's actually featured on the song called Heads Up, Eyes Open. I wasn't absolutely in love with his verse, but it was pretty good, although there was a weird line about how he's trying to inspire kids to do chores, which is certainly a good thing. It just felt kind of weird hearing that from Rick Ross. But anyway, this is a really dope-ass track. In particular, I like that Talib Kweli verse at the start of the song. He's just speaking on the various measures of a man, and this track has some great production as well. It has a bit of an inspirational feel because of the bouncy piano and also the choir vocals throughout. There is just no shortage of great beats and bars on this thing. I can also shout out the Jay Electronica collab called All of Us. This is another dope-ass track where Jay Electronica is doing his usual shit, speaking on real shit while tying in some biblical references, so I fuck with that. And I also got to bring up the track with BJ the Chicago Kid called The One I Love. You know me, usually I don't love these lovey-dovey relationships-based tracks, but this one was pulled off very nicely. You get a beautiful Sampha sample for the production, and then BJ's vocals are just fantastic, so it's really hard to hate on this one. Yes, it is just that typical shit where Talib is showing love to his woman, just appreciating her, but hey man, shit sounds good, and I still fuck with it, so this is how you make one of those lovey-dovey songs. At the end of the day, I'm going to go with a 4 out of 5 on this album. I think this is me just being late to a project, but it doesn't matter, man. It's still dope, so I wanted to make sure that I reviewed it. It even might sneak into my top 20 at the end of the year, but we're getting close to that. There's still some more projects to come, so we'll have to wait and see. But that's just what I thought about this one. You guys check it out for yourself and then hit me up in the comment section. And of course, make sure you swing by all my social media sites so you can show me love and show me lots of it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.